organization, the way it's structured, is it isn't my insurance company. It isn't, we're not writing a policy and say, here, we'll sell you this policy for this premium. It's the membership getting together and defining what it wants to jointly self-insure. And that's the real key. They're all self-insured. There isn't a county in this state, none, that are insured, that are commercially insured. They're all self-insured. Most of them are jointly self-insured, and as such, they've come together and said, we'll agree to protect each other's backs within these terms. At this point in time, they've taken the public record component out. Will that reverse itself in the future? Certainly could.
Just another question to bring up is your role with the legislature, making sure they're aware of issues like this. You know, I think all counties, work to have open public records and try to get those out to people, but there's side effects that happen, and to try to deal with the problems that are created with that. That's the legislature's job in a lot of ways.
The bylaws of the pool, David, actually preclude the pool from being actively engaged in lobbying. It does direct us to work closely with the sister lobbying organizations, so we have a close relationship, a partnership with WASAC, with Waco. We just actually went to the prosecutors meeting last Thursday and spent time with them. So we work with those county lobbying arms.
And I would suggest the lobbying, but the limit would be providing information.
Right.
Like we have
You
here.
do that.
That's exactly
Just the
correct.
facts.
They'll usually send us legislation and say, what effect do you think this might have from a liability standpoint? So,
Right.
well,
Anything else? We're a little over, but I think it's been real productive.
Okay, there was a comment apparently regarding an element of this year's audit. I guess Phil, I'm going to give this to you, because this actually is a copy of the three sections of the state audit. Since we are a public entity, we're just an extension of the county, we are subject to audit by the state auditor's office. This is for the prior fiscal year. That actually should be put wherever the county's audit is placed, because it's a supplement.
Okay.
This year or actually a year ago, we had an unfortunate piece of information that was furnished us, and it was regarding a piece of property that was the core of a claim from 2002 in Mason County. And even though I hate to convey it, it's the truth. It's come out. A former employee, a former claims person within the pool's organization actually arranged to have that property transferred to the pool as settlement of the case. And in turn, instead of filing it, recording it in the name of the pool, ended up transferring it to a family member. And the disclosure didn't occur until after the general statute of limitations had run their course. However, because we are all public officials, just like you are, public officers, then there's an extended statute of limitations that takes place. And that individual was sentenced in early August to a 5-year penitentiary for those actions. Because of the complexities of the transfer and the issues that are involved in the transfer of property in another party's name at this point in time, the pool is taking steps with its legal authority to recapture by quiet title that property. We have received deeds back from the individuals who were engaged, but we are uncertain that there isn't another quitclaim deed that was issued someplace else, so we're taking those other steps. Once that occurs, then the pool will take normal steps for disposal of public property and have your ordinary public auction, and if we receive the adequate sum at the public auction, it will be sold. If not, then it will be held back and probably put in through some kind of other mission type sale. So I'm not sure who the question came from, Phil, but the comment is there were some improprieties that were taken on the part of a former employee that was gone before George truly came on board. We've taken significant steps internally to improve the internal process. in that area. The chance of something of this nature, even though it's the only one that we're able to find in the history of the pool, in the 20-plus year history of the pool that has taken place, the chances of that occurring now as opposed to what they were then are less than 1 in 10. So we're comfortable that the protections can be afforded and still run an organization are in place, but we want to assure you that that kind of stuff isn't tolerated. It clearly was difficult for me to go address the court and take a person who actually I've become friends with over time and say, sorry, you did something very, very wrong, and you're going to have to pay the consequences for it.
That transfer took place in 2002?
Transfer actually occurred in 2003.
2003.
It transferred to the pool's name in late 2002 and into the private party's name in early 2003.
When did the pool
Become aware of it?
Become aware of it?
2007.
Okay. A long time.
5 years.
5 years.
And the reason for that is there are occasionally property, both real and personal, conveyances that occur as part of the settlement of a case. But when those occur, when the real property, they're always placed, or they've always in the past been placed in the name of the county where the complaint is submitted, because usually it's because of the fact that it's a problematic piece of property. There's something there that's gone awry. And we feel as though that the county is best capable of managing those limitations on that property. In this case, that's really not the situation. It's a claim that has to do with the undermining of a retaining wall along Good Canal. And it's not waterfront, it's not per se waterfront property, but it's water view property. And the result of it was that if indeed that the retaining wall were to be eroded away, then the property would slough off into the canal, and it would basically have no value. Well, the transaction occurred in 2002. We actually had it inspected early this year, in April of this year, and there's no noticeable erosion at all. And so in 7 years' time, with no noticeable erosion, it's still a fairly solid, very good piece of property. The Mason County Assessor's Office is still appraising at considerably more value than what was paid to acquire the property. So we suspect that it will. Unfortunately, the marketplace has turned down. We suspect that it will recover a considerable amount of what was paid out, and the court ordered a complete restitution against the party anyway. So whatever's left over, the individual, once they're out of jail or out of prison, is going to be responsible for the deficiencies. Okay.
Well, thank you. And this audit is available online, just like all the state auditors.
They're available from the state auditor's office. They can go to our website, and it's posted on our website for more ready access as well too. So.
Vyrle and David, thank you so much for coming today. You do a great job and great customer service, and provide a good, an important service to the member counties. Really appreciate it.
How many board members are on?
There's one for each county and one alternate, so there's 28 can vote. And then there's an executive committee that, we didn't show that slide, but there's an executive committee that oversees settlement of any claim over $50,000. So there's 11 members that are voted on by the entire membership that kind of oversees the day-to-day operations that are touched on a regular basis. And then any claim over $50,000, they have to evaluate and determine what the settlement authority is granted to the claims manager to go ahead and try to settle the thing out. So there's a real close look at it. And we, at that time, there's a big discussion with the Delaware County about just where it wants to go, what it thinks the defensibility is, and all those kinds of things.
We're running a little behind.
Sorry about that.
That's okay, that's my job.
See you at what, 1 o'clock?